Hello, Charlie. We're live.
Hello, Ching. Let me pinch myself. Yes, I am alive in
Uh-oh.
spite of all the years.
Now, do you see yourself a little bit fuzzy? Do you see it?
I see myself a lot
Yes,
fuzzy because
yes.
I don't have my glasses on. Let me put my glasses on and tell you how I feel.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. Do
maybe a
you
type.
where is your router? Your computer router? Is it close to you or not?
Yes, it's close to me.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
right now, okay.
really,
Hopefully it's not gonna get worse.
I hope
So,
so.
yeah. Hi everybody. We have some friends here. Let's see. What do they say? Hi. How are you? Guess who
Ciao.
was on my? Hi, my friend. The arts. My friend, the arts. Somewhat. His name is Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah, Sam in the movie of My Yangon Diary. He's one of the Yangon. I don't know if you remember Charlie when you saw my film. He was one of the canvasser in Iowa. He was holding a clipboard, walking in the like really cold weather in
Yes,
Iowa. Yeah,
yes.
he's a true trooper. So I am so happy to have Charly Chiarelli today with us.
It's
How are
my,
you?
I feel great actually. I'm a little nervous, but then again, I get a little nervous all the time for whatever I do.
No. You're not nervous. So I met Charlie miraculously at the first second I walk into socially relevant film festival on March 16th. So tell us, how did we meet?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was just descending from the top of the Lincoln Center where my babe Barbara Mead was filming me with her camera singing "Start Spreading the News." I was singing New York and then finished it and did the whole thing a cappella and descended the stairs, and who, lo and behold, do I meet is somebody with an energy that well, I can only dream of equaling yours.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Yeah. So I immediately started interviewing you with my smartphone.
Except that after that, you
Mhm.
asked me if I would interview you. So
Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah. I'm shamelessly I handed my phone to say, "Hey, why don't you just you because you start to ask me questions, like tell me a little bit about yourself or whatever." I said, "Why don't you interview me now?"
well, I thought to myself, this is a woman who understands equality. And then when I saw her supporting Andrew Yang, I thought she really understands equality.
I kick ass. So, yeah. So tell us a little bit about. I understand you have multiple talent. You're a musician. You're actor. You're professor of psychology. What else? Many things. You're a theater
Okay, I
person,
suppose writer. I better say writer because I
writer. Right. You
play
write
back
screen. You wrote the screenplay. Co-wrote that. The road to the lemon, whatever.
grove, grove, road to the lemon grove. But
Lemon, whatever.
let me get my plug in now and then forever I'll rest it. If you go to
You got
roadtothelemongrove.com, you'll get the
uh-huh.
movie. So Road to the Lemon Grove. Enough, no more
Go to
plugs.
Lemon Grove. Yeah, we're gonna watch the trailer later. Okay. So yeah, so tell us a little bit like where all these talent came from. Were you born in United States or in Canada?
I was born in Sicily, and I think everyone
Sicily.
knows where Sicily is. It's usually stereotyped in various ways, but it's a beautiful island.
Uh-huh.
It really was an entity unto itself for thousands of years. It was Greek and Arabic and even Norman. That's where I was born, but we emigrated to Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And Hamilton has been known as the Pittsburgh of Canada because it's Steel Town. As a matter of fact, Hamilton has been dubbed Hammertown. And that's where I grew up, and that's where I am right now. And it's about a 1 hour drive from Toronto. However, it's not like you're passing countryside to get to Toronto. You're passing lots of other cities. So I'm an extremely urban person who comes from subsistence farming. My parents never learned to speak English, even while we were in Hamilton. They never learned. All they learned to say is, "How much it costed this thing? Oh, too much money, too much money." That's all they learned to say, because in my neighborhood there were 10,000 people from my hometown in
Mm,
Sicily, and my father worked in construction with his fellow townspeople from Sicily. So not
mm,
only did we not speak Italian or English, we spoke Sicilian, and the dialect of Sicilian we spoke is like Chaucerian English. It's
mm.
it's a dying language, and hence I played a linguist in the movie. Anyway, I leave it to you to question me yet again.
Yeah, so I know you know, naturally you are Italian, and so so where is this like artistic thing? You were a scholar first, you study psychology university, and you know, you also like a social work or something in your biography. And then how did it like become actor and writer, or came true? So tell us about like those journeys.
Well, with a personality like mine, you know you're going to get fired from many jobs. So I decided I would equip myself with as many abilities as I possibly can. It wasn't a conscious decision. I like to say that I turned many corners in my life. I didn't know what my talent was. I mean, I grew up with a language that was ancient and archaic, and then I learned to speak English. And I think perhaps language had something to do with it, because all of these uh, professions that you cite have at their core communication. Art is communication, whether I do it with my harmonica or with a script. Maybe it was my desire to make up for the fact that I didn't speak the language of my country, and because I was young enough, I was going to accrue as many means of communication as I could possibly do so. But you say that I went from art to or academia to art. The truth of the matter is, we were extremely poor. We were on welfare. That's in the movie. A lot of the stuff in the movie is true. Um, and in so being, we had little money, so I worked selling newspapers when I was 9 years old in downtown Hamilton. And again, I've described a very urban environment, tough urban environment. And I was passing a store, and there was a harmonica. It was passing a store late at night because, as a 9-year-old, I'm coming home at 11:30 or 12 o'clock and saw the light shining and saw this harmonica in the window. They don't put harmonicas in the windows anymore. They put guitars that cost $1 million. Anyway, I saw this harmonica in a window for 25 cents. And instead of giving all the money to my mother, I kept 25 cents, bought the harmonica, and the rest is history.
Okay, you play us a little bit. So at the beginning, did you just you taught yourselves, or somebody else inspire you?
Well, there's always inspiration. These people who say they've taught themselves are fools, because all around you there are teachers. You don't have to take lessons from them. You just have to listen to them, especially with the harmonica. The harmonica is a teach yourself instrument. Although now with the internet, you can go harmonica and I'll give you instructions. But I thought to myself when I heard my first Afro American Sonny Boy Williamson play harmonica, uh, I thought he didn't get instructions. He was in a barn somewhere and he picked it up and went. Now, lots of people play like that, but
Is
then,
that a blues kind
well,
of?
this is the original that was invented probably in 1820. It came before the accordion. The accordion is actually fashioned after the harmonica with bellows instead of your breath. This is referred to as a blues harp, but it's not. It's a marine band, the first ones that came out. And you ask if this is the same harmonica, and you can also play. So as you can see,
Woo!
it's an extremely flexible instrument. And just to give you a sensibility, we won't have to carry on with the harmonica all the time, but
Yeah, yeah, we can talk about
um,
harmonica all evening.
this these are the harmonicas I carry with me when I
Oh my god! Oh, hold on,
when I
hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me make it a little bigger. Let me see. Oh gosh!
when I'm doing a serious gig. Uh,
Wow!
they're tuned differently. They're in different keys. They're
Oh,
aged differently. And some of them
I
I
see.
filed down to create this kind of sound here. If I
That
can
sounds
get my
wonderful.
as an old man, I need my glasses to see if I've got this this kind of sound, which
Mm,
you'll relate to because
mhm.
you play the viola.
Yeah.
So, but the viola can't do this.
Wow. That's beautiful. You
Thank
can
you.
do like you can do double notes like polyphony while you're doing it, right? Like two lines. Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, you know what? I have some reel of you. Let's take a look.
Okay,
Yeah, you were playing with the band. Let me see. I labeled you with the band.
you said
Um,
real. Okay.
Rio
Oh,
meaning
well, can I give a little
yeah.
introduction to this song?
Yeah, tell us.
Okay.
Tell us.
This is an Italian song called Bella Ciao.
Bella ciao.
It's resistance from oppression or from terror or from invasion. It was written during the German occupation of Italy by the resistance movement, and it's been translated in pretty much every country, many countries in the world. But it has not been translated, to my knowledge, in English. So I translated it into English.
Oh,
This La Chow tune. It doesn't have an author ascribed to it, and this is my band. Well, one of my bands. I have several, and that's Venecio de Salvo on guitar and Gary Santucci on guitar, both Italian. And so here you'll hear me singing in Italian and English. I wrote the English lyrics. This is the quintessential a song of resistance in pretty much in the world. So here we go. That's
I have a
long.
question. I have a
Yes.
question. Yeah, we don't have to finish all 5 minutes. If we you can
Okay.
just let me know. Um, is this the song? Because there are two. I know that because we were told when we were young, because the communist China, we have these songs. Isn't this one is dee da dee da dee da da dee
Yes.
da dee da da dee da dee da dee da
Oh
da
my.
dee da dee dee dee. Yeah, I know that song.
Well, you
Uh,
might want to let it run a bit because it's 4 hour times, and one of the reasons I
oh,
translated it is because of what's happening in Ukraine.
oh, okay, okay, okay. All right. So I'm gonna play. Okay.
Stamattina mi son alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso. Woke up this morning to sounds of terror. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up this morning To sounds of terror, there were invaders at my door. Partigiano or Talia. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano or Talia. Che mi sento di muore. Oh, poison brothers, we stand together. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Brothers and sisters, we stand together. We stand together to the end. Well, I think you've got the drift.
Okay, great. Yeah. Oops. Let me stop this. Thank you. Yeah, it's just the melody goes similar and different
Yes.
verses. I am very proud. When I was singing to you, it was same key. I was like, dee da dee da da.
That's C minor. You're doing well with the United.
You know, it's interesting when you are young, you remember these melodies, like these we were told. I remember this song has to do with like Yugoslavic or revolutionary, right?
Cuba, uh,
Oh, yeah,
France,
yeah,
the Slavic, other Slavic countries.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh, and are you telling me there's a version of it in Chinese?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember the lyrics, but I can find out.
I would be a bit surprised. But
Yeah.
the interesting thing is I couldn't locate lyrics in English, so I'm a compulsive songwriter. I mean,
Oh,
a lot of things. Uh,
yeah,
I, you'll see most of what you're going to be presenting in video are
yeah.
songs that I've written.
Oh, okay. And our friend, I wanted to thank people who are in the audience. And Sherry Grant, hi, how are you? Sharkfin Tag, whose real name is Mark. Hi, Mark. And then Nick Rivera, my young and together we did a lot of conspiracies. And then we have Sam. Hi, Sam, how are you? And some of the people hiding behind it, and yeah, write us something. Yeah, ask question if you want to. And Nick mentioned that this music is a little bit like has a little clams, like a Jewish flavor.
Oh, very much. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Yeah, I belong to a Jewish choir. I'm Sicilian, make no mistake about it, but I belong to a Jewish choir. And
Yeah.
well, if I may, if you want to move in a Jewish way,
Yeah.
yes, very much. Sicilian music. I don't know who brought these beautiful harmonic minor tunes to
Mm,
so many places, but certainly to Israel and to
mhm,
Sicily and
mm.
to Greek. Uh,
Mm.
harmonic minor plays a big role in that kind of music.
You know, you're playing harmonic like this, and also I see you at New York. When we were at the festival, you pull it out like that. It reminds me right at this minute. It's like I use smartphone to shoot, and your instrument is so small. It's so accessible. Of course, you have to practice, but it's like you can play in any time because it's in your pocket, right?
I
It's like
usually have,
I have to carry a case if I have to go somewhere. So this is
yes,
really, really wonderful. Really wonderful. Yeah. All
but
right. So let's talk about how about we show the road to the lemon grove.
please,
The Yeah, let's show the trailer first, okay? And then you can talk about, or we
sure,
can watch it again. How long
sure.
is the trailer? Never mind. Oh yeah,
90
here.
seconds, a minute and a half,
Oh,
not long.
Can you see right now?
I don't see the trailer. I
Oh.
see your beautiful face and my.
Oh, I forgot to click share screen. Sorry. All right. So, trailer. Here is the trailer. Okay, here we go. Now, all I can tell you is Charlie is a co-writer. Also, he played 4 characters in the whole movie.
And there's one of them right there.
Okay, and this is his first debut as a film actor.
Dear God, show me a sign that he's moved on. I mean, okay, this is a pretty good sign.
Antonio, if you want to get through the pearly gates, you get through to your son.
He has 14 days. After that, it's ours.
How could you have Leopoldo cremated?
Cremated! You stuff was the last thing you do.
Una trave?
I guess no hope for you, eh?
Che cosa sei? Uno stalker?
No,
Un assassino?
neanche.
E che cosa sei allora?
Your father's in there?
Yeah, most of the time. Ma che cazzo c'è scritto tu?
Just clean to workman's constipation, pa.
The Teramarese are all crazy. Are you crazy?
Can I ask you where the plane is here?
Plan.
Questi soldi l'avevo deciso o ir in America o accattare uno scecco.
La misura delle scarpe. Baronato, attento che lo vedi. Un mattonato.
I gotta wait. Maybe you get it for me. Espresso.
Espresso.
See, is it not like I asked for cappuccino?
That was wonderful. Wonderful. So, let me
So much
go
joy
back.
to watch it. I've seen it so many times. It gives me joy.
Yeah. So, so tell us how the very beginning of conceive of what the idea, where it's come from.
From the amoeba to the most complex organism in the world, the human being. It's okay. I've never made a movie. I've written plays about immigration, and one of the people who had attended my play is Dale Hildebrand, and he's my co-writer and the director and the producer, and did a lot of the post stuff. He is the hero of this movie. How he got me on board? Well, he saw my play, my live performance of Khufu, which you'll see a little piece of later. He saw it and he became interested in the whole concept of doing something about immigration through the Italian mirror. And so he thought, well, you know, I'd be a pretty good one. And he phoned me every year. Oh, also he did something on immigration, a documentary on Italian immigration to Canada. And he had me in a documentary. And he phoned me once a year saying, you know, I'm going to do something with you. And I thought, well, okay, Merry Christmas, goodbye. And then he gave me a call and said, hey, do you want to go to Sicily? I think he gave me like 3 days notice. You want to go to Sicily and show me some places in Sicily? And I said, yeah, if you're paying. Well, he wasn't paying. He collected air points because this is how our budget worked. He collected air miles and we went through air miles and he said, do you own a suit? And I said, well, my daughter just got married. I have a suit. He said, how about a shirt, a blue shirt? Actually, this one. I said, no, I don't have a blue. I wore a black T-shirt with my. So we went to the store and bought a blue shirt and I had a black tie. Off we went to Sicily. And he said, well, let's look at your hometown. I said, I don't think we should film in my hometown. He said, why? I said, well, if this script develops and I have a hand in it and they don't like what it says, they'll shoot me. I said, well, my brother threw me in. You can't hang your laundry out. That's not the Sicilian way. But I know where we can go because 40 years ago as a hippie, I went to Siracusa, one of the most beautiful on the east coast of Sicily, and the island of Ortigia, which is part of Siracusa, where there's beautiful Greek ruins, etc. I said, let's go there. I have friends. We could stay there. So off we went looking at places. And then he had me put on the suit and the tie. And he said, walk over there and now walk over here. And he kept talking about what it's like to be a film star or a person who has a role in a film. And I went, yeah. He said, yes, you got to know your mark. And I didn't know anything about this crap. I thought, what the hell is he talking about? Little did I know, in a way, he was grooming me for roles, because when we went back and wrote, he had a skeleton of a script, and we kept writing and writing and writing, even after, anyway, the writing never ended. But it finally ended, and now we have a film that's won so many awards. Anyway, I went from being the main. He said, "Well, maybe I'll get." See, there's some real stars there. Burt Young is from Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nick Mancuso's made 250 Hollywood films. My co-star, my female kind of love interest. He didn't want me loving her too much, though. I would have written some pretty seedy scenes with her. But she's from Italy, and she's the prima ballerina of Italy. And she's never been in a movie herself, as a matter of fact, but she's a big star in television shows. She teaches children ballet on television. She's got a radio program. She is absolutely amazing. Her name is Rossella Brescia, and she became my co-star. And then we got the music's fantastic and the whole thing. It just all kind of tumbled together, but I tumbled into 4 roles. He said, you'll be the father. I had 6 hours of makeup per day to change from this craggy old person to become an even craggier old person as the father. That was an experience and a half. And then he wanted a woman in black. So I was the woman in black with a mole, hair growing out of it. And then I had to be the younger me, and that young boy that we cast for the youngest me, Calogero, was brilliant. He's now a Hollywood star. As a matter of fact, when you and I were at the Lincoln Center, he was across the street auditioning to get into the Juilliard School, and I think he will get in. It's a long story, but it wasn't programmed. I just sort of fell into all these roles, and in the end, that's what you have.
So what's the idea? What's the sort of a basic idea came from that require you to play 4 roles? Is it because it's intentional, or because they want to save budget? Are you getting paid 4 times?
Well, the fact of the matter is I haven't been paid at all yet, because
oh my God,
the film hasn't made any money yet. But but it's almost an illusion of success, because we've been nominated for 12 awards, won 9 international awards thanks to the socially relevant film festival. I have best actor, we have best film, we had best film somewhere else. Picked up an award in Taormina, which is one of the most probably prestigious film award festivals in the world, next to say Sundance or Cannes. Picked up an award there. But no, I films don't, as you will know from the socially relevant film festival, films don't make money. And he paid everybody else, but I said I would, if it makes money, I'll take money. And if it doesn't, then I'll just ride with it and, be a representative of the film as I am right now, etc. No, but you ask a good question. Would he have had to pay 4 people to do this? I'm not sure. It might have been easier for him to pay 4 people than to show me how to be an actor in film. It's a whole skill set. And remember that I got into it, I dare say, let's use the word elderly man, because I don't mind telling people I'm 73. So it's my first film with 4 roles, many, many awards. And I started it all when I was 69. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that's remarkable.
Well, I don't mean to be remarkable. Fate has given me so now, why the 4 roles? Let's get into the linguistic aspect of it. Dale and I bandied back and forth. What should be the profession of the main character, whose name is Calogero? By the way, my name is Calogero. My father's name is Antonio. By the way, the character who's my father, which is me, his name's Antonio. So we thought, what shall be the profession? And typically, if you want to talk about Italians who make it, and we made it real quick. We made it in 1 generation. It's kind of like the Jews and the Chinese. They come over and suddenly they're doctors and scientists. The Italians did the same thing, I dare say. I'm an immigrant, and I became a psychology professor and a mental health and addictions consultant, and now actor and whatever. what are we going to make the main character? Well, I also studied linguistics. You mentioned a lot of academic pursuits. I studied linguistics for 3 years as well, and got a certificate to teach English as a foreign and second language. And I suggested my suggestion was, let's make him a linguist. And Dale's mind just went all over the place. He latched onto it and went, yeah, great. And he researched. He did some wonderful research about what is a linguist. And then we can talk about the atrophying of languages in the world, the atrophy. So why the roles? Well, I'm probably the only one in the world who speaks my dialect. It's dying in Sicily. When we got our award in Taormina in Sicily, nobody was speaking Sicilian. And when I started translating, the host is like the Billy Crystal of Italy, let's say. He was the host. The machines weren't working. I wasn't translating. The headphones were doing it. And when the headphones wouldn't work, he didn't know I spoke Italian. And I thought, dead air, I'm enough of a performer to know, let's not have any dead air during the award ceremony was being held in the Greek amphitheater with 2,500 people in black tie. And I thought, we can't have dead air. I know enough about that from being a musician. So I said, I'll translate. And he said, oh, you speak Italian? I said, well, Italian or Sicilian, whatever you like. And he hesitated and said, okay, Sicilian. Well, nobody had spoken Sicilian in Sicily for the first hour that we had been there. Nobody in the stage, nobody in the audience. They all speak Italian. The language is dying. So he said, okay, Sicilian. That was very brave of him. As soon as I opened my mouth to speak Sicilian, 2,500 people almost fell off their seats laughing. Because my Sicilian is like Chaucerian English. Like, they're just going, what is this guy come from a time capsule or what?
Yeah.
So back to the 4 characters.
Yeah.
Those characters had to speak the same language. And, it would be one would be hard pressed to find 4 characters that can speak that language. So who knows? It wasn't as much planned as it tumbled together, the whole film.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've said enough. You go ahead.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit. The cinematography is beautiful. So many great, scenes in Italy, and you also have some scenes with drone, and it looks like a really big budget film. And tell me a little bit about who Dale is, and just a little bit your director.
I'll tell you
how he prepared you.
Well, he had to prepare me from ground zero. So let's just go there. And if you know about filmmaking, even the word copy, when do you use the word copy unless you're going to, me copying your accent? That would be copying. The expressions you use in filmmaking, say, when somebody tells you to do something and you want to do it or you're going to do it, you say copy. Like even something as rudimentary as that, I had to learn. So Dale is a fantastic cinematographer. He's not Italian, but he's married to an Italian, and whatever he puts his mind to is going to be gorgeous cinematographically. The first thing if you want good images, go to a beautiful place. You cannot beat all of Sicily, this area of Sicily, and we were in 28 towns, we made up the name of the town. We made up Terra Mare, which means land and sea. We made it up because that allows us to take pieces from any town and put it in there. If we want the sea, we put the sea in. If we want a volcano, we put the whatever. Dale is wonderful at images, and that is his resume is tribute. His movie making resume pays tribute to how well he's directed before. I don't think he's directed anything like this. He's directed martial arts films and stuff, but he's been a cinematographer in some pretty major film, documentaries, etc. To go to he's fantastic.
You're spotty right now. Internet, a little spotty. Yeah, I don't know. How about let's play a reel while maybe you can readjust yourself. I don't know what's going on. So let's find a reel has to do with the film.
Not much more with the film itself.
Okay.
Why don't you play the minute and a half, the short reel of my play, Kung Fu, That's
Oh
my.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
short, but I could speak on it, and I'll try to bring more light into my soul, so that I
Oh,
won't.
okay. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Video details. Oh no, acting. Oh, acting. Oh, okay. I hope that's the right one.
Oh, it's okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's
Ah,
called Monkey Cake. Okay,
okay.
play it, please.
I make it bigger. Okay, okay. So it's a theater piece.
As a kid, I had no desire to return to Sicily. Why should I? There was enough Sicily right there in my neighborhood. Besides, my parents broke their asses to leave, and I'm going to go back. There in the industrial north end of Hamilton, we had the smell of winemaking in the autumn. The old Fazari grocery store on McNabb Street with barrels of different kinds of olives and big slabs of codfish. Bacala. And I get pucha gusto bacala. Oh, you can smell it from 4 blocks away. Sicilian barbers who with every haircut gave us kids a lecture on respect. Rispetto. Snip, snip. Tu devi ascoltare a tomato pa. You must always listen to your mother and father. Snip, snip. Hanno fatto un grande sacrificio per te. They made a big sacrifice for you. And I just wanted him to stop yapping and pay attention to his cutting. He was wrecking my Elvis Presley hairdo. By the time he finished his long lecture, I had a brush cut. Damn his respect. And then there was the Catholic Church, All Souls, where every Mass on Sunday was in Italian. Every Mass except for the one at 12 noon. That, of course, was in English. And the priest told us, it's because the people who speak the English, they drink too much on a Saturday and they don't like to wake up for Mass. And he was right. Because the people who speak the English was us, the immigrant teenagers. And a lot of us did drink too much on a Saturday and we don't like to wake up for Mass. Besides, we couldn't understand those Italian sermons. We didn't speak Italian. We spoke Sicilian. Calabrese, Abruzzese, Friulano. But hardly anyone spoke Italian. Once I was watching an Italian TV program with my mom. And after a while, I turned to her and I said, Ma, io manco capisco. Che dici? Ma, I don't understand. What are they saying? And she looked at me and said, a che mi saccio io? Parlo spagnolo, no? How should I know? They're speaking Spanish, aren't they?
Back and move that. So what? Yeah, that's funny. So when, may I ask, when was? Oh yeah, you're much clearer right now. When was this work? A few years ago.
Well, I'll get into some. I think we've dealt with the movie, and again,
Yeah,
the plot is
yeah, the theater. Yeah.
theater.
No,
Now
no, no,
that-
no, 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 no. Before you do theater. Oh, yeah, you do theater. I have a question about theater. Okay.
Why don't you
Go
ask?
ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
my question is, you did theater, and what is the most challenging thing to do as a film actor compared to theater person?
To wait to deliver your damn lines and to have no response for them, except okay, cut. Like I'm used to what you just saw. Yeah. But cut. Well, well, nobody's going to applaud. But not only that, the precision with which you have to deliver your lines, and the precision with which you have to keep your place, your mark, because of the city of this. The difficulty with getting into your role with so much equipment around you, with people around me, I don't have trouble with my role. Actually, as it were, by the time I was finished doing film, I had no trouble with the film either. But that took a while. So the difference has to do with the immediacy, the kind of improv. None of that was improv, what you just saw. That was scripted. However, if I went off script, nobody would know it because I wrote the play, right? Number one. Which means that leaves you a little room for improv. and and because the people are there, the theater of war, the theater of theater. There's so much that is unexpected, and living in that unexpected environment is extremely exciting. But I think that being a movie actor, which I had the pleasure of being and may again, is about precision. And that is the difference, if I've answered your question.
Yeah. No, it's very good. Very good. So, how did you get into theater?
Well, it's not natural for me. I had a job in Toronto with one of the most avant-garde psychiatric hospitals in North America, called the Clark Institute of Psychiatry. And it happened to be planted in a kind of bohem area of Toronto called the Kensington Market. And in the Kensington Market, there was a bar called Gaffer's. Interesting, because that harkens upon film. There was a bar called Gaffer's, and in that place they had blues bands. And I would come after having worked at the Clark Institute. At the time, I was doing graduate work at the University of Toronto. I would come and play with the band. And one time, and during my break, this guy Dan Yashinsky was standing beside me, and he said, "What's your name?" I said, "Charlie." He said, "That's not a very good band you're playing with, but you're pretty good." I said, "What do you mean it's not a very good band?" I said, "It's a blues band. How good do you want a blues? Maybe you don't understand." And he looked around this room, this cafe, and he said, "Boy, this would make a good storytelling venue." I'll tell you now that Dan Yashinsky began storytelling in the world. All the storytelling festivals in the world 45 years ago was begun by the one in Toronto. He began what is called Friday Nights of Storytelling. Now, I went back to the bar and there was no band. There was Dan sitting on a stool telling a damn story. I'm going, where the hell's the band I want to jam with? And he spotted me, a man I just met 2 weeks prior. He spotted me in the audience with my bag of harmonicas, and he just went like this. He said, "My next story will be accompanied by harmonica." So I started accompanying Dan Yashinsky. He's got 7 books out about storytelling. This was the initial thing. So in a way, I'm not a founder of the Storytelling Festival. I'm a found-in. And I went from accompanying them, and backstage, I would tell them stories about my neighborhood. And they said, "Charlie, you should be up front telling stories." So how I got into theater, I thought, well, I don't know, maybe okay. I got involved in a storytelling festival thanks to Dan. And this theater that I was in was run by Judith Sandiford and Ron Weiss. And they virtually, after I did my story about my neighborhood, they virtually followed me home, which is a 3-hour drive to Kingston, Ontario, where I was living at the time, knocked on my door, and Ron Weiss said, "Would you like to turn that storytelling you just did, for the first time, I must say, everything's first for me, into a play?" And I said, "Well, I don't know dick about plays." He said, "I'll act as your dramaturge." He said, "I think you'll be able to write it. Let's give ourselves a couple of months." So was born Kufu. So that's a 2-hour play.
Kufu is the character?
No, Kufu in Sicilian, only in Sicilian, not in Italian, means who did it. Who damn did it. Because see that Sicilians, if somebody gives you a ticket on your car, a normal civilized people like you would say, "Oh, look, I got a ticket on my car. I guess it was parked in the wrong place and it caught me, or I kept it for so long."
No, I would say F word.
But a Sicilian doesn't say, "Gee, who did it? What institution gave?" A Sicilian says, "Govo!
Govo!"
Govo! That means, who the did this? Well, it's for 2 reasons. Not because we want to hurt the person who did it. There are people who do wonderful things to us, and we want to do more wonderful things back.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword. If you're nice to me, I'll be double nice to you. As a matter of fact, I should be double nice to you if you are nice to me. And if you're, like the expression in my neighborhood goes, if you step on my toes, I'll dance on your face.
Oh,
So
that's tough.
That's Kufu.
Kufu. Yeah.
So I used it.
Nick, I thought that's a tofu.
Tofu is almost as fun. It's almost as flexible as kufu, except you don't eat kufu.
You don't eat kufu. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's funny.
some people say, is it a martial arts or no?
Uh-huh.
And the Sicilians know media. It's like, well, first of all, my name is Calogero, and a name
Yeah.
like Calogero is like having the word Sicilian branded on my forehead. It doesn't
Mm.
exist in the rest of Italy. Kufu.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Kufu, what who did that? You're fuzzy
Who did
again.
it?
You're fuzzy.
Now, who did it? Who did this fuzziness? See, us Sicilians are fuzzy, eh? Kufu. Who did that? I
Yeah.
think how we can deal with this fuzziness is you can hear me, and
Yeah,
and
I can hear you.
I'm very vocal, and I'm going to
Yeah.
play. The play you just saw is called Manja Cake. So
Magic cake.
after I wrote Kufu,
Sound like
it
a
was
dessert.
it was
Sound like a dessert.
Sicilians are famous for desserts. Most of it is cannoli. But if you read a dessert you really like,
Uh-huh.
then you're going to say Kufu. Who did it? You want to kiss them and ask for more.
Oh, kufu. Okay.
Ooh,
We learn
you
we
said
learn
that. Here we
something.
go. Manja
Okay.
Cake was my next play. What you saw with the live audience is Manja Cake.
Magic.
Bravo Television picked up
Mm.
Kufu,
Mm.
ran it for about 12 years. Well, while it was running, I thought, well, I'll write another one
Mm.
called Manja Cake, and it got picked up, and you saw it live. Now Manja Cake
Mm.
is also in the movie. I mentioned it as a linguist what
Mm.
Manja Cake means.
Mm.
It's not in the United States, but it's in Canada. Italians were called many derogatory terms. It's kind of interesting about people who say, as a Sicilian, as a Southern Italian, I'm not a visible minority. Well, if
Mm.
I'm not a visible minority, when I was a kid and we just moved to Hamilton, Ontario, and I'm on my way to school, and the English kids, as we call them, are throwing rocks at me and calling me WAP and Dago and DP and Guinea and Spaghetti Bender, how did they know I was that? If I'm not a visible, I was certainly our Southern Italian. We were visible minorities, and who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe because we smelled like garlic. Maybe it wasn't visibility. Maybe we were
Yeah.
odiferous minority.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows? Anyway,
That's wonderful. That's
Manja
wonderful.
Cake is what we call them. It's
Mm.
not so derogatory. It means cake eater. Because when we
Mm.
first came to America,
Mm.
right, we looked at the sliced white bread, Wonder Bread,
Mm.
and we thought, what the hell is this?
Mm.
And we tasted it. And we thought, this doesn't taste like bread. Doesn't look like Italian
Mm.
bread. Doesn't look like
Mm.
bread. So we
Mm.
figured, must be cake. And we figured anybody who ate this bread is a cake eater, a manja cake. We
Mm.
were bread eaters, real bread eaters. So my next play was called Manja Cake. And that term is now going to make it to the US and the world because it's in the movie. And I'm a
Mm.
linguist. And I describe it just as I described it now. So much for
That's
that.
wonderful.
So that's how I
Mm-hmm.
went from being involved in psychology and
Mm-hmm.
psychiatry
Mm-hmm.
to storytelling to theater, but they ran concurrently. They were
Yeah.
parallel courses. It's not like I quit my job, otherwise
Mm-hmm.
I starved to death.
Yeah.
If I
I
had
have
to,
a question. I have a
yes,
question. I always thought about that actually in terms of someone's specialty is psychology. Do you think a psychologist, do they think about these theories very often? So when you're dealing with other things, deal with your mother-in-law or deal with your student or deal with your neighbor or deal with situations, uh, deal with filmmakers, do you use your specialty of psychology to become more smarter than other people?
well, I would never use, first of all, knowing any discipline isn't going to make you any smarter than anybody. So I'm in Hamilton. I'm in a blue collar neighborhood. I've seen intelligence manifest by the person who's asking me for pennies so that they can go buy another bottle of booze. No, intelligence is not a factor of education as far as I'm concerned. Now back to your question. Do we utilize that discipline when we're dealing? Well, it's a chicken and egg story of sorts. I've always been interested in human behavior. So in essence, what I've always been, whether I was working in a bowling alley or selling newspapers on the streets or studying psychology and social work and for that matter, language, did I have a proclivity for being interested in human behavior, and that manifests in my education? Or did the fact that my father was in a psychiatric hospital for about 4 months a year of my growing up life for post-traumatic stress disorder, because he was in 3 wars, did that experience affect me with respect to choosing a career or a discipline? Maybe for some people, they were like intrinsically interested in human behavior and they go to psychology. But just because you're interested in human behavior, you might go into being a classical violist, because that's expression as well. You really have to understand human nature to be good at any art. And if you utilize it as a discipline for your profession, that's a whole nother tangent.
Mm-hmm. Very philosophical, Professor. Now, I'm going to ask you a personal question. How did you meet your wife?
Oh my God, you're
She's so sweet. And you are so sweet. You look so cute together.
Thank you. I wish you were here. Well, she'll hear you because we'll watch it. That's a very interesting question. Essentially, I dated Barbie when I was 16 and she was 17 in high school once, but it was a formal date. And I lied to go to this school where Martin Short went, Eugene Levy, Jeff Bloom, yes. A lot of Hollywood people went to this high school in Hamilton called Westdale. And so, but I lived in the wrong neighborhood, so I lied about where I lived because I didn't want to go to the other high school because all my brothers got kicked out in grade 9. And I didn't want that reputation on my shoulders. So I lied and went to this very sophisticated high school, free, public high school, but I'm free anyway. So there I was, and so I wasn't dating because I didn't want anyone to know where I lived. I was on welfare. These people are, her father was a major in the army and all that shit. Anyway, the point is that I saw her outside the school and I worked up the courage to ask her to a formal, and we put money together to a hotel to a party, and then this fraternity, that's a fraternity in high school, this fraternity kind of invaded our party, and the guy who was kind of the head of the fraternity kind of stole her at the party. So I didn't see her for 50 years. 8 years ago, and she'd never, virtually not seen each other. We saw each other in the halls, but I knew she was gone, even though I got her a really beautiful wrist corsage that I paid a fortune for, not to mention to rent my suit. But it's okay. It was understandable. The guy's father had a car, and
Hey, you're fuzzy again. Sorry.
Okay. And
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Don't move too much. Don't move.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know why. I don't know why we moved to Canada, because it's so cold that we have to keep our hands like this, and when our hands are like this, we don't talk. We only talk when we move our hands. Anyway.
Yeah.
So 50 years goes by, and I'm playing with a blues band 2 blocks away from our high school, and I'm hanging around because I'm seeing people who were in the high school, because I ended up being president of that high school. In 2,200 kids, with the expression "put a wop on top." Wow. If you can believe that. Well, that was 1965. So, and besides, I'm Italian. If I say wop, it's okay. If you say wop,
what is a wop? What is a wop?
Well, a wop is a derogatory term for Italians. Wop.
Oh.
It's in the movie. It's in the movie. The linguist educates you about this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there we were 2 blocks away from the school talking to kids. They remember me as the president of the school or whatever. They didn't know about the movie. There was no movie at the time. And she looked at me, she stopped, and she said, "Charly Chiarelli," from our date 50 years prior. And I looked at her and I said, "Barb Baker." That was her name before she had been married and became a maid, and we just stared at each other, and we exchanged a few words, and she was gone her way and I was gone my way.
Yeah.
And then I dropped in on her on the way to a beach and with a bottle of wine, and that's all history. Yeah. We've been living together and lovers for 8 years now, and it's getting a lover and a partner at a later age is a wonderful thing, because you've made all your mistakes already.
You should write a movie now.
You're tempting me.
Well, yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, I like to, I love seeing people, old or young, very affectionate to each other. So it's always beautiful. So you're like very, very open, at the festival, and just I thought that was just so sweet, so sweet. So anyway, let's does do we have any more reel to show people?
Oh, please
How,
do, because yeah, I
yeah,
think we have
you
three,
I
four more.
think I
They're all
think
short.
how about there is one kind of harmonic thingy. Let's see. It was
Mm,
little oh, this one. Do you see it?
okay, okay. You can play this. It's only a minute and a half. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Tell us, what is this?
Well, that's my family, and for your information.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, why don't you play it? I'm playing a song I
Okay.
wrote called Morphine. I should tell you that's very interesting because this song, which I translate English and Italian, it's just short.
Okay.
It's paying homage to my father as he's dying, and I do that in the play Khufu, as you see.
Okay.
That's the title of the play. And I know when I have an Italian audience, because one of the things I'm wishing my father, I'm wishing him the lemon grove, I'm wishing him parties, etc. But one of the things I'm wishing him, and I only do it in Italian, is I'm wishing him, and I did this tongue in cheek, an erection, and he's dead, and I'm wishing that. He's not dead. He's on morphine, and I'm wishing that he has a dream in his morphine that actually gives him an erection. And so, I know, and it's in the words of the song, only in Sicilian.
Okay.
But the point of it is, it lets me know how many Italians are in the audience, because only Italians laugh at it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Italian. This is a trigger warning.
Morphine, morphine, take 'em back to lemon trees beyond the beaten track. Morphine, steal into my papa's dream. Fighi freschi, vino puro, belli vesti, e lo cazzo duro. Morfina, aiutalo a suonare. Morphine, steal into my papa's dream. My father's grimace of pain meant it was time to snap my fingers and say, per favore, another shot of morphine, if you will. And the nurses, so gentile, were always pleased to oblige. The intensive care unit created a state of artificial limbo that must have been very scary for my father. He was certainly no fan of technology. After 40 years in Canada, 40 anni in Canada, Pa remained a Sicilian farmer, a farmer who well understood the old earth beneath his feet. But he had trouble relating to the new world before his eyes.
I guess that's the end.
That's the end. I just wanted to, but it tells a large story. The photographs themselves tell a big story. I wanted your listeners, viewers, to get a feel for the live performance as it manifested way back when. As you can see, my hair was a little darker, but I continued to perform this internationally. I performed it in many countries, major cities in the world. It's the most fun is performing it in Rome and Bolzano, is northern Italy, where I can actually perform it in Italian and Sicilian and some English. But that just gives you a taste of my family, of whence I speak when I'm doing the play. And the first play that came to pass, that was Bravo Television's production. They didn't want a live audience. I'd already been performing it for live audiences. They wanted to bring the cameras in, and they wanted to do it stark like that. That particular piece is about 48 minutes long, but the play itself is 2 hours long with an intermission.
That's nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, I just want to say thank you to our audiences. And also, you have a friend, I think, Duke Interactive Media. Do you know him or her? Yeah,
Yeah,
Duke
yeah,
is in the audience. Yeah,
Jeffrey.
and Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jeffrey.
thank you,
I call
Jeffrey. I'm
I call
actually going
him
to.
Duke.
I'm actually, he
Yeah.
has a he does what you do, videoing and all that stuff.
Oh
And
yeah, media.
he's the person I used you as the example of the quintessential minimum equipment but maximum output because you got an award and made your first major film. So
Thank you.
congratulations to you, my dear.
Thank you. Oh yeah, you were at the theater. Thank you for
Oh,
seeing my film. Okay, so tell us, people. Nick was in the film, and Shark Fin came. So, what do you think of my Young Gun Diary?
well, I'm not trying to patronize you when I say it was brilliant because I know the circumstances under which you did it. And I should also tell you that what Andrew Yang is trying to be is Canadian. That's what he's trying to be. Canadians are always lobbying for guaranteed annual incomes, and that's basically what he's done. We have we have a balance between capitalism and socialism. We have universal medicine and cheaper education, etc., etc. Andrew Yang touches my heart. Your film was a wonderful expose of a man who's trying to not only make his country better, but by example, if he were elected, he would have made the world better. And it's about time that we start understanding that he's not just Asian. He's universal. He's a man of our times. And you captured it beautifully, and you captured his ground swell support wonderfully. So because I know how you made the film, I consider it brilliant. And in the socially relevant film festival, it got its proper accolade. You received an award. I loved it. Now, but keep in mind, again, I resonate with Andrew Yang's politics. So you captured the politics of a person that and followed it on TV, of course, here in Canada. So I'm telling you, I loved it.
Thank you so much. It meant a lot for another, actor of. You can consider yourself filmmaker as well. Yeah. So thank you so much. And by the way, everybody, if you get a chance to watch Charlie's film, it's called The Road to Lemon Grove.
The
Okay.
Lemon Grove Road.
The let's see the poster. Let's see the poster.
Okay, the poster
Okay.
is right there.
Say it again. Yeah.
Oh, wait, which way?
Towards you. Yeah. Okay. Road to the Lemon Grove. Yeah.
And if you want it, it's on Tubi TV. It's free. You can get it free through the socially relevant film festival. But what I suggest is remember roadtothelemongrove.com. So just remember roadtothelemongrove, small letters.com, and you'll get all of the places where you can watch the film. Mm-hmm. And please do, because you saw a snippet of it. I don't mind telling you that there's facets of my life invested in this film, and with joy. Mm-hmm. It's not laborious, and I certainly am not doing this because there's any remuneration for me. I'm doing it because I love it, and I know you'll love it.
Yeah, I have it. It's right here. It's my project to watch with my family.
Can I make a comment on that? That is the DVD. In the DVD, you have our bloopers, which are hilarious. The film itself is funny. We have won a comedy award. We have Dale and I making commentary throughout the whole film. So it's an hour and a half of commentary. We have all the makeup and special effects that allowed me to have 4 roles, all in that film. And if you want to learn to speak Italian or you speak Italian, there's Italian subtitles, which is how we won our award in Taormina. So they're fabulous subtitles. So that particular package will give you more than you can dream of with respect to how our film was made. And
it's called the making of, right?
Yes,
Road to the it's a lot of fun.
Plus the film itself is in there, so you can watch it from stem to stern. Anyway, so much for my commercial.
Commercial. Commercial is good. All right, so are you ready? Let's do a rapid fire.
I'm never ready for rapid fire.
Woo!
That's why you do it.
Don't talk too long. Okay? Rapid fire is supposed to be short. Okay.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yes.
What's your favorite color?
You know, everybody says it. Purple, color of healing.
Oh, okay. What is your favorite Italian dish?
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, like, you know what? One of my favorite Italian dishes is
Too many.
pasta aglio olio. Pasta with garlic and oil, but really good olive oil and garlic and lots of Romano cheese. I don't like Parmesan. So it's a
Oh,
spaghetti. It's a spaghetti
oh,
aglio olio.
oh, okay. It just makes me hungry. I want to tell you, when I've been Italy many times, in Rome, I found a really great squid noodle.
A
Squid
black
noodle. Yeah,
noodle. Oh
it's
yeah,
so good.
that's Sicilian because
Oh,
Sicily is famous for seafood. Yes, the
yeah.
black spaghetti, but you know it's a fancy. You can only get it at fancy places, and it's not easy to get. Whereas the one I cited is real simple, and I'm just a simple subsistence farmer who's now in a big city.
Well, wonderful, wonderful. Italy is so beautiful. Now you are a musician. You play the harmonic. What if you have time right now? What instrument would you like to learn that you don't know how to play?
Well, because I write songs, I should have a chording instrument. You know, as much as I love the cello very much, I guess it's going to have to be the piano, you know, because, but what I do is I find pianists and they chord for me, but it would be the piano.
Mm, okay, good. I'm offended. You should say viola.
Love the
I'm
viola.
just,
The
I'm
viola,
just kidding.
no, the viola has a big presence in my life, but I won't describe it. But I do love listen, the cello's not far. Between the violin and the cello is the viola.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cello is a bigger viola.
Right.
Violin is a small viola.
Well, the cello is, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are a beautiful viola because
Oh, thank
viola is a
you.
typical Italian name.
Oh, oh, really? Oh, okay. I should send you some videos of me playing. Well, actually, you just Google, okay? Ching Juhl viola, and you're gonna
No,
see
I,
videos of
I
me.
I want better. In your movie, I
Mhm.
saw you doing a snippet of "Summertime," and I want to play.
Oh, yeah,
I'll give you a little bit of
yeah.
"Summertime"
I
in
played on five
Sicilian.
string. I played a five string.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are
Yeah,
jumping,
fuzzy.
and the cotton grows.
Charlie Fuzzy.
Anyway, I want to do a duet with you.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I can play. I can play violin now because my viola is played by my son. But I also have a
Okay?
five string violin. It covers the viola, so
Wow.
I can play both. Yeah, yeah, electronic, electronic. Yeah. Uh, Now you do you have time to watch movies? And which movie you saw lately you really like?
Licorice pizza.
Oh, I heard about that. Licorice
Uh,
pizza.
it reminds me, first of all, they're first time filmmakers all throughout it. Chris has never in a band and stuff. And it's the films I always loved, like Harold and Maude, King of Hearts. Yeah, one of the I love Fellini. I love Amarcord. It's
Mm,
kind of bizarre in a way, but it comes straight from the heart to your heart. So licorice
mm.
pizza.
Wow, that's wonderful. So, I see people in Italy, they drink wine at 10 a.m. in the morning. So, what is your favorite drink?
Oh God, you know what? Jägermeister. I know as an Italian, it's a German drinker,
You're
but
fuzzy, Charlie.
okay, how's
You're
this?
fuzzy.
I'll be
I
still.
don't know.
How's this?
Your internet is not so
How's
good.
this? How's this? How's this?
uh,
How's that?
no, it's bad.
Well,
But
let's
it's okay. Yeah, we can always
Jäger,
do it again. Yeah. Okay. So you were talking about drinking.
Jägermeister. It's my favorite drink.
Oh,
I love it.
Jägermeister. Oh, it's very strong. Oh man, it's green,
It's
right?
it's almost medicinal.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a medicine.
Yes.
It's expensive medicine.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't need a prescription. If you had a
Yeah,
prescription
yeah.
and insurance,
Yeah. So this is very fuzzy. I think we need to end. Yeah. Yeah, we had a good time. We can always do it again, you know. But yeah, next time, we'll do better. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Charlie, to be with us, and thank you, our audience, their contribution, and yeah.
to your
So
audience, grazie
yeah.
mille, as we say in Italian. Siete tutti meraviglioso. You're all marvelous. Love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Okay, I'm gonna end with my our audience first. Okay, bye. Have a great Wednesday night or Wednesday morning, depending where you are. Bye bye.